My name is Julia, and I'm a current virtual Vine ambassador from Harvard University. By making this video outlining some of the many resources available at Harvard, I hope that this will be helpful for those of you planning to apply, especially those of you applying as first-generation low-income college students. So I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. I am a rising sophomore. I'm planning to study neuroscience with a secondary in global health and health policy. I'm also pre-med. I'm from Philadelphia, and I'm both a first-generation and low-income college student. During the application process, I applied to around 33 schools, so I totally understand the stress of researching and applying to schools, especially as a first-generation low-income college student. To start off, there are many FGLI-specific resources that are available at Harvard. Just to name a few, there is the First Generation Student Union called Primus, the FIRE Pre-Orientation Program, which is a week-long program before orientation for incoming first-generation and/or low-income students that builds a community and teaches about FGLI resources offered on campus. And then there are a ton of resources offered directly through the Financial Aid Office, including the First Year Startup Grant that provides around $2,000 to each low-income first year for dorm supplies and other necessities for life on campus, the Winter Coat Fund, which provides low-income students with around $200 for winter clothing during their fall semester, and the Computer Reimbursement Forum, which refunds up to $2,000 on technology like laptops and printers and tablets. And lastly, Harvard offers free health insurance for many low-income students, which is very helpful. In terms of campus-wide resources, first I will touch on the advising system for first years. As for advisors, you will have both formal and informal advising with a lot of faculty members. Based on your academic and career interests, you will be matched with a first-year academic advisor who advises you with classes you're planning to take, concentrations or majors that you're thinking of exploring, and really anything you need while navigating your first year at Harvard. Based on which dorm you're assigned to, you will also get a proctor who lives in the entryway of your dorm and oversees any conflicts and basically serves as a general mentor and friendly face to see in the dorm. You're also assigned a peer advising fellow who is an upperclassman that provides you with advice and guidance as a fellow undergraduate student who shared a lot of the experiences that you're going through as a first year. The peer advising fellows and proctor of your dorm will also throw informal study breaks once a week throughout your first year so that your dorm can get to know each other better and bond. You will also have a resident yard dean who often communicates with professors if you're in need of extensions or anything else with your classes. As for counseling, Harvard offers a service called CAMS, or Counseling and Mental Health Services. They have same-day appointments through CAMS, though scheduling in advance can be difficult. And being completely honest, many people that I know have had issues with the service provided by CAMS, so I would recommend pursuing one of the school's peer counseling services in addition to the university's mental health assistance. For peer counseling groups, there are so many offered at Harvard. These services are typically open really long hours into the night and run by fellow undergraduate students who of course do not know you personally, but can provide amazing support when they're needed. Just to name a few, there's ECHO, which focuses on eating disorders, body image, and things like that. Room 13, which provides peer counseling on general concerns. Contact, which specializes in issues regarding sex, gender, sexuality, relationships. Indigo, which focuses on how race, class, sexuality, citizenship status, etc. affects your mental health. And lastly, Response, which focuses on issues relating to relationships, including sexual assault, harassment, and general dating issues. In terms of physical health, Harvard offers the Harvard University Health Services, or HUHS. HUHS provides emergency visits, which have been pretty quick and helpful in my experience, as well as scheduled visits. If you're on Harvard's health insurance, you can pick up free cold packs with different medication needed for general colds throughout the semester. And like I said earlier, free or reduced Harvard health insurance is typically offered to low-income students, and I, as well as many of my low-income peers, have found this extremely helpful throughout our time at Harvard. As for the library system at Harvard, we have many libraries with an unbelievable amount of books. And just to name the most popular, frequented by freshmen, we have Widener, which is the largest and quietest library on campus, Cabot, which is basically the opposite of Widener, very social on the bottom 2 floors, but fairly productive on the top floor, and Lamont, which is productive but also a little sad. There are a lot of other libraries on the law school campus and other areas of Cambridge, but these are the ones that are most frequented by the first-year students. Regardless of the library, it's usually very easy to rent and return books. You can rent laptops, laptop chargers in places like Cabot, and also there's sometimes 3D printing that's for free. Harvard also has an online database called Hollis, which you can use to really easily find books online or in person, make citations for research papers, view scholarly journals through many of the online publications, and a lot more, all for free. Printing with most university printers costs around 10 cents per page of color and 6 cents per page of black and white, but you can get around this by printing for free at places like Pierce Hall. You just have to really easily install a system online, though I think this might be a bit of a life hack because I don't think most students are aware of this. Now I'll move into more of the academics available at Harvard. I'll start with the required curriculum, which consists of a concentration or major that each student studies, and then you can also choose to have a secondary field or minor, as well as a language citation if you choose. Harvard also has 4 general education requirements, though these can easily overlap with your concentration or secondary field and are usually really enjoyable classes regardless. There's also 3 distributional requirements, as well as 1 math course, 1 writing course, and 2 language courses that are required unless you can test out of them. All courses are graded with typical letter grades except for freshman seminars and other special case classes, and you can choose to take classes pass-fail, but there are some restrictions. Some of the most popular classes at my school are usually introductory level classes such as CS50, an Intro Computer Science course, LS1A, which is an Intro Life Sciences course, EC10, which is an Intro Economics course, and then we have these classes which we call GEMS. And GEMS are typically classes that are really enjoyable and graded fairly, which means that they are easier classes available. In terms of the format of my classes, I definitely had mostly larger lecture hall classes since I'm a STEM major, though many of the humanities and language courses that I've taken have really small classes with around 10 to 20 students in them, which is really great to have one-on-one interactions both with students and professors. As for student-professor relationships, I would say that it's very easy to contact professors, though it is definitely easier in smaller classes, such as humanities and language classes. Oftentimes, you can just send them an email or fill out a Google form to set up a meeting time or just to have lunch with them. Personally, I've had lunch with my professors and they have been very approachable and very kind, so there's definitely nothing to be afraid of.